Hi, I am Dr. Garima Gupta, a mental health coach and a psychologist and a psychotherapist. I take this opportunity to thank MIT School of Distance Education for giving me this opportunity to impart some light on the topics such as managing changes at workplace and resilience and self-care. I believe that these topics are very important in our day-to-day lives, and thanks to the series Maanas for of webinars where we can talk about psychological aspect of human well-being. Now, another important topic which MIT gave me to discuss today on this prestigious platform is managing changes in workplace. Now, according to there are various impacts of changes on any organization. It can be different types of changes, but any change in an organization or an employee's role creates a stress and a situation of distress amongst everybody. It can be very overwhelming, and an employee can also deal with mental health issues along with that. So type of changes which we are going to discuss today are strategic changes, people-centric changes, structural changes, technological changes, and unplanned changes. So all the changes in the strategy or the associated to people around the workplace, or in the structure of an organization, maybe it is the growth of an organization or any merger or any technological or new technology introduction, maybe a new software introduction into the firm, or any unforeseen circumstances creates changes, and it creates a ripple effect which can cause a lot of distress among or uncomfortable feelings among the employees. But keeping that in mind, we have several benefits of changes as well. Change can bring fresh approaches. 2. New faces in workplace can be included by new recruitment. Novel changes and friendly competition can be inculcated in that structure. Updated policies and procedures, can enhance the firm. And I always believe if an organization grows, we also grow with that. An increased opportunity for those who are willing to embrace it is always present in the new structure of the organization. So let us, often translate these changes as opportunities rather than, cribbing or grieving about them. Now, how to handle changes at work? At times there are changes which do not suit you. You have managerial changes, your bosses change, you don't have that comfort level with them. 1. Challenge your interpretation of the facts. Maybe this is the time to re-evaluate how you are interpreting those changes in your personal life. It is disturbing your work-life balance. So it is time to dwell over it and think about it and presume about it and take it in a positive manner and create a positive mindset about it. Ask questions. Ask plenty of questions to your HRs, to your managers, to your bosses, to your colleagues, to people around you, to your team as well. You are going to work with them. The new team, the new manager, the new structure, the new responsibilities needs to be asked about and clarified about rather than getting into a zone of overthinking about it. Recognize and rationalize the voice of caution. Something triggers in your mind, that gut feeling, that caution that tells you that something is not falling in place. Listen to it. Do not ignore it just because of the change that is happening in your organization. Listen to it, recognize it, identify the trigger, and then do something about it. Reframe change as an opportunity. Now, change is a change which is not in your hands, but what you can do is rather than skipping and jumping organizations, you can see it as an opportunity. Maybe you can do another course, maybe you can upgrade your skill or update yourself with the new technology inculcated in that organization. Break down the information. You don't need to digest all the information at once. Take it step by step. Now, be patient with yourself, preserve, and ask for help if needed. So you have to be kind to yourself. Along with all this changes happening in your life, all these things going on in your life, these major changes in your life, you have to be kind to yourself. Number 7, broaden your comfort zone. If you are used to that job which you were doing, that means you are stuck in that and you are not at all. You need to grow. You need to move forward rather than stay there. So broaden your horizon and your limits and test them out to the maximum possible. Celebrate daily wins. Appreciate yourself, and even a little win is there to celebrate. Remember, it's a lifelong skill. Whatever you are learning with that change, whatever you are learning is teaching you resilience. Be resilient, bounce back, and do the best whatever is required in your life. Now, next, what we are going to discuss is what is grief. According to APA, grief is the anguish experienced after a significant loss, usually the death of a beloved person or your job or your role. Anything which is significantly impacting your mental as well as physical well-being is a grief. Now, there are stages of grief. 5 stages of grief are: 1. Denial. The first stage is denial. People simply do not want to accept or acknowledge that this has happened to them. Stage 2 is anger. After the denial stage comes the anger. All those emotions inside you come bursting and rushing and gushing towards a state of aggression. Number 3 is bargaining. How we bargain, what if this has happened and what can we do about it? Maybe, when people move from this second stage to the third stage, things start sinking in them. Stage 4 is depression. You feel sad. Depression is not usually as depression, but you feel sad. You have feeling of sadness, loneliness. You have feeling of rejection as well. After that comes the final stage of acceptance. When you start accepting and start praying to yourself that you are going to move forward. So grief comes with all these stages. How to support your grieving colleagues? It is not easy to do that, but you have to do that to maintain a good boundary, a healthy relationship, and a cordial teamwork in your workplace. Lead with compassion and try your best to meet your colleague wherever they are. Do not dwell on your colleague's grief because their grief is not your grief. So when you detach yourself, dissociate yourself from what they are feeling, you can better support them. Refrain from making comments such as everything happens for a reason, or it's okay to be, it's okay to cry, or it's okay to feel like that. Glad you are moving on. These are invalidating and maximize the pain within them. They cannot connect with you at these points. Let your colleague know that you are there for them if they need to talk or they want to connect with you, and feel so. Then do so. If they come and ask you for a little support or help, they might not ask you directly, but those indirect hints, seek to them. Be attentive to how your colleagues experience the workplace during these emotional times, and explore how you can help them in these small milestones in their life.